Hi Libras, and welcome to your March 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk about your energy coming up this month. It's an interesting one, a very diverse range of energies you have coming in, undoubtedly. I bet that you guys are feeling pretty torn and indecisive lately, as we all are to a degree. March is always such a transitional month, like it is probably the most transitional month of the year. March and September are really, really strong for introducing a very big change, a reintroduction of the past through different lens, so on and so forth. And you, Libra, are definitely at the center or front and center of that ideal with what I'm seeing in your energy. And I want you to think really clearly right as you're going into March about, what is changing. Like, I kind of feel that some of you are jolted, okay? You got the Tower reversed in your reading. We won't sugarcoat around it. There's sort of a jolt, like a roundabout jolting energy that you're dealing with, where you're a little bit worried or a little bit concerned that you might have done something wrong, or people might be blaming things on you, or you might even feel this, like, energy of conviction as well with the Six of Pentacles reversed there, too. And that is something that I want you guys to really start to let go of and release, because I feel that you are giving really nice things to people, or really offering something of quality. And this sort of thing in the back of, and this might not be for all Libras, but for those of you that are going through this, it's so important. This thing in the back of your head that's like, I've done something wrong, or I'm not in the right place, or I'm not doing this right, I'm not serving other people the way they want to be served, and I feel convicted over that. That has to sort of dissipate, because we are collectively dealing with these old things of conviction, which is what I talked about in the March 2020 general collective video, which I'll link below and in the top right hand corner. If you guys haven't seen that yet, it's just the pick a card reading. You can also just like jump over to my channel and check it out. But you're gonna see as the month progresses in March that there's a need to like really quickly get on a bandwagon, or a need to like jump ship, or a need for some of you to like get out of Dodge is sort of what I'm hearing with Knight of Swords and Six of Wands there too in the Tower. It's like, yeah, something is like capsizing basically. There's sort of the energy of something that was really big, or something that was going for a long time sort of upending itself and sinking, and that's okay. This is Pisces season. This is the time where, you know, the Titanic starts to capsize and the Celine Dion music comes on, and we all have to just like cry it out, you know, and it just has to sort of be that moment. And maybe that happens many, many times for a Libra in a month like this. And as you move towards the end of March, it is just that, and it's like you will start to see what you actually want your energy to go to. I'm looking straight at that Nine of Wands reversed at the 4th week sector for you. So you are going to see like, okay, wow, I've really been putting a lot of energy into something that I didn't even realize. So it's not even like your job. So when Nine of Wands is reversed, the energy depletion is not coming from like what we think, like, oh, it's my job, or it's my family, or it's these things that I work really hard at. It's usually coming from maybe a really outworn coping mechanism, or something like that you've been doing to cope for a really long time that is like relying on you feeling drained to still be viable. So that's a great train of thought for Libras this month. It's like, what am I relying on being bad to continue the viability of certain outworn coping mechanisms? So yeah, that's pretty, I mean, I could end the reading there for this month, Libra, but we got a lot more to talk about. That's sort of your mission this month, is to release the outworn, basically. Releasing the outworn after there's a bit of a capsizing of, you know, what inevitably had to kind of happen or go anyway. Don't fear it. Don't fear people kind of cross-checking you or cross-examining you. That's another thing. People are going to kind of like verify things with you. I feel like this energy of verification, where maybe like the I don't know. I'm not going to label it for anything that it specifically is, but maybe like it's almost like people are taking a lawyerly tone with you. Like, did you do this? Did you pay this? Did you pay this bill on time? Did you do that on time? Did you file this correctly? And it's like there's sort of a pointed thing with that. Scorpio is also sort of going through that as well. So especially for you Libra, Scorpio cusp people, you want to make sure that your ducks are getting in alignment here. You want to make sure that we're doing things right. Okay. Verification process that keeps coming up. Processing time, verification process. The small print, the advice of other people, second look, second glance, second set of eyes on small print. Sorry, that's just a channeling coming through. You want to make sure that that's happening, and finding confidence in yourself through being able to make that happen. So for those of you maybe starting businesses right now, or getting married, or entering into any kind of contractual energy, here is a time to really get the opinion of others, or the time to really, let somebody else help you, Libra. Big thing for you. You've become so independent. And here is a time where we got to kind of let other people help. I got to be honest. Let's get into the week-to-week Libra. The extended reading will be on Patreon. That'll be linked right below. And also at the end of the video, it'll be linked in the center of the screen. Thank you so much to those of you who have already been supporting on Patreon. It makes this possible. And you get all this content is early, ad-free, and it's great. I love it. I'm going to start doing more and more over this year on Patreon. I'm going to start like a new Patreon calendar, and there's going to be all sorts of exclusive stuff over there. So get ahead of that and jump over and sign up for Patreon and get this reading extended as well. So week number 1, Libras, you have the Tower reversed, rooted down by 4 of Cups. So is kind of like the energy of like the idle hands or the devil's handiwork. You want to watch out for being too much in void space or being too much in downtime right now. You want to kind of take it slow, take it easy, take yourself less seriously to a degree. Because yeah, Pisces season this year, Mercury retrograde in Pisces at the same time. We are our own worst critics. And the depth to potential pessimism, or the depth of how wrong things could go, is almost bottomless. There's a bottomless pit, cesspool of how this could go wrong, or how I could be miserable or sad, and we want to get out of that. Don't let this sound pessimistic or miserable or sad to you, Libras, but so Libra needed space is the best that I can put it. Libra needed a lot of space, needed a lot of autonomy, needed a lot of power and control over its own life, especially since around 2016. And a lot of you got that, and a lot of you maybe got that in a roundabout way. And now you start to see the error in it as well. We're social beings. We need connections with other people. So I really will encourage you guys, by the end of March, you want to maybe make new friends, or make connections that are beneficial to you. There's something about people around you that can really help. And I want to point that out to you guys. To sometimes face some of these big things alone is like why it's there in the first place. All right. Sometimes we need idle banter or people talking around us, even about things that don't really make sense, just to make things a little more shallow. There's a spiritual mission for a lot of people to keep things a little bit shallow during this Pisces season. It's not right for all times, but being too deep, being too worried, being too paranoid, being too dialed into the possibility that anything could go wrong, that is an enemy for this month. So as a Libra, you have that ability to weigh out both sides of everything. Like, it could be great in this way, and it could be horrible in this way. Speaking of like a goal or a relationship or a regiment or something, like, you already know when you think about things what the best and worst case scenarios are. So you don't really need to mentally play all of that up over and over and over again. Because the first week of March, to really dial it into the first week, you will see all of that. The best case scenario, the worst case scenario. But I don't see a lot of actual things happening in the first week. Again, it's 4 of Cups reading it down, so it's like I'm all in my mind, or it's all like what I'm perceiving, or what I'm even like trying to manifest as well. So watch out for manifesting for other people, or also thinking of best and worst case scenarios for other people. That's just another message coming up too. Yet being alone while doing it. So week number 2, you guys have 6 of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by 6 of Wands. So we love 2 6s together. Again, 6s are transitional numbers, numerologically, and in the tarot. March is a transitional month. So a lot of you might be moving during the second week. A lot of you might be changing residence, changing job, changes in identity even, changes in emotional identity, changes in in debt status as well. That's what I'm hearing for you guys. Debt status. What does that mean to you? Maybe paying off a debt, maybe taking on a debt, maybe buying a house. That's really not bad right now. I don't really recommend buying anything that's a high ticket value during Mercury retrograde, but you guys could make it work here. But maybe plan something like that out. Like, when am I going to buy the house? How much do I need to save to buy the house? How's that going to happen? I feel that you guys need like roots, and you need some like something that is your own, and not like so shared, not so joint. Again, Libra is the ruler of the idea of like joint finances, joint ownership, what we acquire through like marriage or partnership. So Libra might be really called to generate something of their own and move into that. Also, week number 2, you want to watch out for who you owe. Are people racking up debts in your name? Are people demanding things of you or promising things to you as well? I would be aware of promising or accepting promises, or dealing with any type of promise or legal things, or any acquisition of like assets. None of that really feels good during this time, but you could plan around it. And if you've been working on it for a long time, you're fine. But no like sudden windfall, like, okay, this is the lottery, I'm buying this property because I've like won the lottery and it's such a good deal, and I'm gonna double it. That thing doesn't work too well right now. Again, it's not going to resonate for everybody, but watch out for the acquisition or the legal this and that. This isn't what I talk about, guys, but you know what I mean. These are these archetypes. That will be that. Great time to change up your image, a transition of image, a transition of how do I look, how do I come off, how do I project the world, what do I wear, how do I parade myself. Really good for that time. Week number 3, Knight of Swords, rooted down by 10 of Pentacles. So getting out of Dodge, running away from the family unit or running toward the family unit, breaking with ancestry, breaking with the norm, exiting the regime. These are the words that are coming up, Libra. And it really just depends on where you're at before that 3rd week comes. Are you, really beholden to your family? Have you maybe been living with your family? Have you been really working for your family? If this is the case, Libra, you want to work on you for a little bit here. Timing is neither here nor there, but starting in the 3rd week, you got to detach a little bit from family. All right. Now, if you've been completely alone, estranged from family, or not focused on family, or not, concerned with ancestry or anything like that, now you have to run toward it, and you have to like look at family, and you have to see what that offered you. It's like basically you got to do the opposite thing that you've been doing for a while, just to show yourself how we have to like wake up sometimes. Okay, there's like, we got to wake up to like the reality, or wake up to the direction that we're going. So it's a good awakening time for you in the 3rd week. Again, that is the equinox. We're all collectively waking up. That is the movement into Aries time, into the energy of double one. Again, Aries season and the year of the rat both are the energy of 1. So it's double 1 energy. We're all kind of waking up to the truth of things there. So enjoy that. That's actually a nice feeling. Like when you get to sleep in, and you get to like not, and you get to like wake up naturally, and how great you feel for like the first 20 minutes, okay, of just waking up naturally. That is what that energy is for you. So natural awakening, and the glow that you have during that maybe hour amount of time is what you sort of have access to there. So that's a nice blessing. Week number 4, Libras, you guys have 9 of Wands reversed, rooted down by 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, when you wake up like that and you feel that feeling that you felt in the 3rd week, that's so nice. You'll start to see how you betray that, and how that's not sustainable in whichever way it is or isn't. And I think that when you see that, you're going to start making some changes, and that's where the true transitional energy of March comes in for you, is by really getting a hold and a grasp on what that 9 of Wands reversed is. What am I not what's not right, what's taking way too much energy, what's burning me up, and there's a wealth of knowledge there for you, that acceptance and that ability to see clearly, like, that it might not have been what you expected. Again, Pisces time can be pretty unclear how to move forward, and I know that we're all like really desperate, coming out of Pisces time, and we're like, okay, how do I go forward with this? How can this ever work? How can this ever be me? But by Aries time, 3rd, 4th week of March, there's a wealth of knowledge about who you are. And this is for everyone, not even just Libras, but that's how it's coming in for you, is through like what you've tried too hard with, basically, and what's really taken from you, and seeing what it's given you, and letting what it's given you start to create for you. So yeah, time of investment, time of acquisition, more appropriate towards the end of March and into April. And that's pretty much that. In conclusion, Libras, you want to feel better by the time we go into April. If you're not really feeling better on like April 1st compared to March 1st, it's time to really make a change, okay? That can be a good testing rubric for you. Like, if you're really feeling better on April 1st, you're doing something right. If you're feeling worse on April 1st as compared to March 1st, make the change. All right. So that's really going to wrap that up today. Thank you so much for being here, Libra. If this reading resonated for you, hit that red subscribe button below. That is the best way to support this channel, and hit the like button as well. If you'd like to give me any feedback in the comments below, I would love that. I really like to get feedback so I can sort of align that to what I've said and learn more about what is resonating. And if you guys want to see the extended reading, we can jump over to Patreon now. You can click the center of your screen, and we will check out the central theme of this reading as well as the supporting factors, and get the bigger picture of the month. So I'll see you guys over on Patreon, and great luck this month, Libras. Much love. Bye.